This shoe just helped a man run 100 kilometers in under 6 hours. Something nobody on earth has ever done before. But here's the twist, that record doesn't even count. Why? We're talking about the Adidas Adizero Evo Prime X, because the shoes he was wearing are completely banned. And once you see what's inside it, you'll understand why officials are panicking. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this might be the most illegal piece of footwear ever created. Let's set the scene. A South African runner named Sibusiso Kubika became the first person to complete a 100 kilometers run in under 6 hours, finishing in 5 hours 59 minutes and 20 seconds and beating the previous official world record by over 6 minutes. That's massive, that's history. Except, it's not official. At all. The reason is simple. The shoes he wore don't comply with World Athletics regulations because of their midsole height and overall construction. So technically, as far as the record books are concerned, this run never happened. So what's the actual problem with these shoes? It comes down to one number, stack height. That's just a fancy way of saying, how thick is the foam under your foot. World Athletics has a strict limit on this for a reason. Too much foam can act like a spring or a trampoline, giving runners an unfair mechanical advantage. The legal limit sits at 40 millimeters. This shoe? It comes in at roughly 50 millimeters, a full 10 millimeters over the legal cap. And get this, the actual race day prototypes worn by the athletes were rumored to be even more extreme, with some reports suggesting a stack height of 60 millimeters, which would be 50% higher than the allowed limit. Picture stacking two regular max cushion running shoes on top of each other. That's basically what these athletes were running on for 100 kilometers straight. Now here's where it gets interesting. This isn't just more foam for the sake of more foam. Adidas built this shoe around a brand new material. It's called Lightstrike Pro Evo. It's a lighter, less dense version of the foam Adidas has used in previous racing shoes. The result is something that feels almost weightless in your hand but bounces back like a mattress on steroids. And this isn't Adidas's first rodeo with controversial foam blocks. 2 years before this shoe, Adidas released the Adizero Pro Evo 1, the first race shoe to break under 5 ounces for a marathon distance, something that used to seem impossible. That shoe made headlines too, especially after a famous marathon world record was set while wearing it. So Adidas basically took that formula, cranked it up even further, and built something even crazier for an even bigger goal. Here's something most people miss. Almost every modern racing shoe has a carbon fiber plate hidden inside the foam. It acts like a spring, giving the runner extra push with every step. This shoe doesn't have that. Instead, it uses a curved ring running around the edge of the midsole to add stability inside all that thick cushioning, instead of the usual stiff rod found in other Adidas racing shoes. Think about that for a second. A shoe with almost double the legal foam height, and instead of a rigid plate to keep your foot stable, it's relying on a ring shape to hold everything together. That's a wild engineering gamble. But Adidas didn't stop there. For the actual world record attempt, some athletes wore shoes with something called ultracharged technology. Here's how strange this gets. The midsole foam was placed inside a pressurized chamber for several days before the race, which apparently makes the foam more responsive and feel more alive underfoot. So we're not just talking about a shoe with extreme foam. We're talking about foam that gets a pre-race treatment, almost like it's being charged up before battle. This wasn't a mass-produced shoe handed out to whoever wanted to try it. Adidas built bespoke, precision-engineered footwear custom-tailored specifically for each of the 5 athletes attempting the record, including the official 100 kilometers world record holder Alexander Sorokin from Lithuania, plus runners from Japan, the USA, Ethiopia, and South Africa. 5 elite athletes. 5 custom pairs. All built around one shared, audacious goal: break a barrier nobody thought was breakable yet. And here's the kicker, the entire shoe came together in just 5 months as a research and development project specifically for this event. 5 months to build what might be the most extreme running shoe in history. Now you might be wondering, does wearing something this extreme actually feel good, or does it feel like strapping 2 pillows to your feet and hoping for the best? Reviews are surprisingly mixed in an interesting way. One runner who tested the commercially available version described the ride as noticeably softer and bouncier compared to other performance shoes, with a chunkier feel due to the extra weight, though it didn't feel as heavy as expected once running. That same reviewer also mentioned that despite the extraordinary stack height, stability wasn't as much of an issue as you'd think. So it's not necessarily a shoe that makes you feel like you're going to roll your ankle with every step, but it's definitely not something you'd casually throw on for a walk to the store either. Here's the question everyone's asking. If this shoe is illegal, if it can't be used in official competitions, and the world record set in it doesn't even count, why is Adidas selling a version of it to regular people? The answer is simple: marketing and innovation. This shoe is essentially a showcase. It's Adidas saying, look what we're capable of. Many of the technologies packed into this shoe, the ultra-thin upper, the massive cushioning, possibly even that stability ring, will likely trickle down into more affordable, everyday running shoes in the next few years. It's less about selling this exact shoe to millions of people, and more about proving what's technically possible, then slowly rolling that technology out to shoes you and I might actually buy and wear. Here's where things get a little ridiculous. This shoe carries a price tag that puts it firmly in elite athlete or serious collector territory, not your average weekend 5K runner. And it's part of a pattern. Adidas's earlier Pro Evo 1 shoe was famously a one-and-done product, built to survive roughly one marathon before the foam broke down completely. So you're not just paying a premium price, you're paying a premium price for something with a built-in expiration date. That raises the obvious question: if it's this expensive, this fragile, and can't even be used in official races, who's actually buying it? The honest answer is almost nobody, at least not for practical reasons. Elite-level athletes get these for free or heavily discounted from sponsorships. For everyone else, this shoe exists more as a piece of wearable tech demonstration, something enthusiasts buy to say they've tried the most extreme running shoe on the market, the same way car fans might pay to sit in a hypercar even if they'll never take it on a track. In a strange way, that's exactly the point. The shoe doesn't need to sell millions of units. It just needs to get people talking, get people searching, get people clicking videos like this one, and quietly prove that Adidas is years ahead when it comes to foam technology. This whole story fits into a much larger trend. Running shoes have been getting more extreme, more expensive, and more experimental every single year. We've gone from regular cushion trainers, to carbon-plated race shoes, to now shoes with stack heights so extreme they need their own foam formula and custom pressurization treatments. And honestly, this probably isn't the ceiling. If a shoe with 50 to 60 millimeters of foam, a stability ring instead of a plate, and pressurized cushioning can help someone run 100 kilometers in under 6 hours, even if it's unofficial, you can bet other brands are already working on their own version of, what's the next rule we can bend? So that's the story behind Adidas's most illegal shoe yet, a shoe that helped break a barrier nobody thought possible, using foam so advanced it gets pressurized before use, and a design so extreme that world athletics won't even acknowledge what it just did.